All right, we're going to try this again. And this is like the third time I'm trying this today. Hopefully, we'll get everybody back on here. You're going to hear me coming through this again because I'm testing out the. You're going to hear me coming through this again. There it is. All right. So if I keep these monitors off, I should be okay. Now I'm hoping. All right, let's try. I got the GoPro hooked up again. Let's see if I can switch over to it. All right, so there's the GoPro. I'm still getting sound coming out of my monitor here. So if I can mute that, I should be okay. Go back to the main camera. All right. So it looks like we got a few people on. Let's see if this goes a little bit better than the two previous tries today, where I was getting all kinds of echoes and delays and feedback and all that with the audio. I seem to have. So we got one camera, two cameras. We got the other camera near the piano, and then I have the GoPro camera that's pointing straight up right now on the desk. So if you happen to hop on, everything's looking okay, sounding okay, please let me know. And then once I can determine that everything is good, then I'm planning on taking the GoPro around the room. What I do want to check now is, so I got this mic behind me. I want to make sure you can kind of hear that. We're going to see if you can hear this mic. It's probably going to be a little louder than the other ones. I'm hoping that once I stop moving around the room, I know you're looking at my back right now. Once I stop moving around the room, you're going to be able to pick up my voice a little better. If not, I'm going to have to yell. So if you guys could hear that, let me know. I'm going to listen to it. I'm going to have to yell. All right, I can hear it. Cool. So yesterday we were working on the second mic is louder. Yeah, I was pretty much. I think if I go on top of this mic like this, it might get a little louder. But that mic, I think, is a little bit more sensitive. It's pretty sure it's a Sennheiser 609. So I think it's got a wider what do you call it? Diaphragm or whatever is on it. Glad to see you back, Darren. Thank you. All right, so wait for a few more people. I know there was a couple people that messaged me that wanted to come and watch this. So while I'm waiting for that, I'm going to, because I have the chat box, I want to copy it and then put it into each one of these scenes here. There we go. So we should be getting a chat box on everything. At least I hope. It almost seems like it starts over. When I go out of a scene into a different scene, the chat box kind of stops working. What does this do? Nothing. All right. Yes, the studio. Well, the studio, Darren, when I first built this studio, I didn't build it. It's in a garage. But when I first put this all together, I don't know if you watched the 7-part miniseries that I made of putting this all together. But I had a couch in here, and it was awesome. And then I started doing the eBay stuff, and I slowly this slowly morphed into basically a storage unit, and it was hell to move around in here. You couldn't even walk in this place. Got rid of the couch. It sucks too because it's a great couch. I think I paid $100 for that couch with the bed folding out and everything, and I sold it for $200. So I don't know. Now that I got my new eBay space, and if you haven't checked out Rhode Island Picker yet, you must do it. It's on here on YouTube and it's on Facebook. But you can see the new eBay space. You can kind of go back to the old videos and see what this studio was starting to look like before I get everything back out of here. So I'm slowly kind of putting this back together. You know, I do have the baby grand piano over here that you can, you saw the other day in the corner. Perfect fit over there. I still got a giant, I don't know if you can see it in that shot, but yeah, down there you see all that stuff that's kind of on the floor. It looks like a jacket and some board games, and that is my pile to donate to the thrift stores when I get back to doing that. I got to take about a month off for the wrist surgery. They actually just called, when I left doing the stream before, I got a call from the surgical center to give me my supposed time and all that for Tuesday, and what I can and can't do, and all that stuff they usually tell you. But so once I'm able to go back to these thrift stores, that's all going to go. I'm going to clean up that area. I brought that chair back in. So we got a few people on now. What I'm going to do, I'm hoping this is going to work. I'm going to switch over to my GoPro. Here it is. And I got a long extension cord, USB extenders. So I can basically start from, I'm going to move this back so I don't scare you. I'm going to start from the door if it goes far enough back, and I'll work my way through so you guys can kind of see. A lot of it's going to look the same, as if you've been following the building of the studio and everything. It's going to look the same, but there's a lot of different things. I'll show you you can see the mic anyway, but I'll show you up close. And another thing that I picked up today. Hey, it's Pap. Welcome, Pap. So let me walk back here and hope that this mic is going to pick up when I'm actually behind it. So what I want to do is I'll turn the mic this way. You guys let me know whether or not you can hear me. All right, so I'm at the door of the studio. So I'm going to turn this around, and you're going to get kind of a full shot around the studio. There's still a ton of stuff in here. So I'll start over here. This was one of my kitchen cabinets. We had extra. I got all my playing cards up there. But this is my I just added this with the counter, and I made this countertop for it. I got to clean all this up. I got a Keurig out here. I got my girlfriend right there. Well, not much of a girlfriend, but got a bunch of here's an old Sky High CD. Here's a Warrant Cherry Pie signed by Jerry Dixon, Eric Turner, and Janie Lane, who all three of them I had in my car many years ago. And they signed that for me. So I'm going to walk over to see if you guys are typing anything. You guys getting this? Are you able to hear what I'm saying back here? Alright, so obviously over here I got, look at that. Get all my stuff here. Storage, I got a scale. Why, I don't know. Somebody's typing something. Yeah, so Pap, yeah, if you think it looks bad now, go on my Rhode Island Picker YouTube channel and watch some of those first videos before I moved into the new space. And if you want to see hoarders, I have almost 700 items up active on eBay right now. So all of that was basically almost in here, and I couldn't move it. It was terrible. So this is actually progress from what I had before. Okay, you saw it. Cool. I got to keep going over to the monitor to see what you're You know what? Next thing I got to do is hook up an iPad so I can see what you guys are saying when I'm walking around. All right, so that's where we were. I moved my amps out off the wall. I don't really, I'm saying amps, but I have the 1 amp and another cabinet there. I plan on adding a Synergy, probably the 50 Syn 50 to that. You can see down here, this is eBay stuff that I just listed the other day. This is my little dog's bed. These are empty bins that need to get filled for eBay. The guitar wall, that Charvel is still for sale. Somebody buy it, please. I'm going to add the Frankenstein up there once I get it. So today I picked this up. It's one of the old Apple Cinema displays, 23-inch widescreen. I can't hook it up yet because it's got a DVI port on it, so I had to order a DVI to USB-C to hook it up to my iMac. Right now I'm running, that's a I think it's a 20, I don't know if that's 27 or 32-inch television. Saw a broken headstock. Where did you see a broken headstock? Broken headstock. Tell me where you saw that, because I don't have any broken headstocks. So yeah, that cinema display is going to replace this thing, this TV. This basically, this TV is in here for me to, when I sell video game systems, as you can see down there, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Probably got another 7 or 8 systems I have to go through to sell. I should get a cheap lavalier. It's funny you say that. Funny that you said I should get a lavalier. I have a decent one here. I got an Audio-Technica Pro 70 that I was thinking of selling. I might try it again. It's not wireless, so I'd have a cable hooked up to me, but it might be better to to get the sound to you guys. The only thing with that mic is it wasn't very loud. So even though I'd have it clipped on over here, you couldn't really, I don't know. I gotta try, maybe if I put it through Logic like I'm doing with these other mics and adding gain to it, it'll work a little better. Yeah, the SM7B's here, but I also have the E609 right here. So when I'm walking around, or if I want to play the piano, I can aim it over to there. So let's go over to the piano. This is my baby grand, and I have my little toys up here. You can see you got little David Pasternak, you got Pedro Martinez, Dexter, bobbleheads. I got Deadpool. Trying to sell this baseball lamp, if you know anybody. I got a label printer. So we got that. I got a bunch of junk. This is all eBay stuff here. Actually, these things are kind of mine until I can get like a whole set to sell. Here's something. Nicolette Larson. There's a guest guitar player on a song on here called it is called Can't Get Away From You, the song. And on lead guitar it has a question mark. Do you know who that question mark is? That question mark lead guitarist who wanted no credit was Eddie Van Halen. Alright, so let's scan. So up top I have storage up there. So this wall is actually where the garage door is, behind there. So I built that wall, and I can still vividly remember trying to put it up by myself. It almost fell down on me. I didn't think it was going to be as heavy as it was, but I got it up. I got it all in place. It's all insulated. Nothing's getting through there. And what else do we got over here? There's my Alesis Surge electronic drum kit. I still have to go. I got a ton of stuff to go through back there. Let's go over to this side of the room. More empty bins for eBay. I'm going to turn this mic around now. You can hear me a little better, hopefully. I'm also selling, that's brand new in the box. It's a Fender, it's a 212. I can't remember the model, but I basically didn't pay for it, and I'm not going to use it. It was for my daughter, and then she decided she wanted to play bass instead. So that is for sale. I think I got it up. I think brand new. They're like, I want to say like four change. I got it up for around 325 or so. Then I got all those video games there for eBay. Captain America costume that I was supposed to wear this year, but we never had a Halloween. And yeah, so I basically got to clean all this crap up still. What do we got here? This case here is brand new. This is an SKB. It's like, I forget what they call it. SKB, the I series. I got that for my pedal board, which I'll show you too. It's under the desk. You know, I ordered that before this whole pandemic hit. It still has not been used. It fits the pedal board perfectly. It asks for if we had, if I had to get on a plane or like some kind of travel thing. It's very well protected in there. Let's take a look outside. I hate snow. All right, then we're moving over. This is my eBay death pile. This is all stuff that has to get listed on eBay still. And I'm not going to do that until well after my surgery. This is my eBay photography center or whatever. So I take all the pictures. That's just wallpaper right there on a board. And I got my scales on the floor. So after I take the pictures, I weigh everything that I know kind of what what the shipping weight is and what it's going to cost. Coming over here we have, this is the audio center. I have my Headrush 112 here monitor that I use. I have a Focusrite Sapphire here. I don't really use it. I can if I need to, but I hardly ever used it. And I have my 18920, which everything's going through. I got a couple of these pile power conditioners. Got my Synergy Sin 1, the tabletop with the Friedman BEBB. Got my 10-channel Mackie board that the Synergy's going through. I did have the mics going through there before, but now the mics are going directly into the Scarlett. Then over here under the desk, it's my pedal board that I built. You can kind of see everything here. You got the talk box, my Helix. I got one of Chad Boston's awesome Helix covers, plexiglass, that just goes on here with magnets just to protect it. Goes right over the whole thing. And I forgot, this is I forgot what kind of board it is, but I ordered it. They're in California. They was the size was specially made for me. It's perfect. And I wired up everything, cable ties and all that stuff. This GoPro thing's working pretty good. You guys still here? Alright, then I did have these are Yamaha HS8s. I did have those on the desk, but I just got these, I think they're Gator monitor stands. I got them from Sweetwater. They came in the other day. And I also, up top, I also have my M Audio kind of little 5-inch speakers. Then I got my TV. You can kind of see me in the TV up there. My TV if I need to watch anything. And I got a DVD player. So yeah, so that's basically the studio as it is right now. So the first thing, sorry about all the moving of the camera here. Let me switch over to this camera. So I ordered the DVI to USB-C adapter from Amazon. That should be here Wednesday, so then I can put that, I don't know if you can see it. You can probably, maybe. I can put that Apple display in place of this TV over here. Get the TV back over there for my video game setup testing. I need a drink. Let's check these messages real quick. Who? All right, Darren. If you're still here, you says you saw a broken headstock. Any story behind that? I'm still trying to figure out where you saw a broken headstock. Are you talking about on the wall when I first near the door? Because I have coat hangers that have headstocks on them. Let me see if I can go back over there. Turn the mic around again. So Darren, if you're still here, are you talking about these headstocks here? These are just little plastic. Well, I don't know if they're plastic, but they're got these off Amazon. It was a set of three for like $13. Oh, the other things I got to show you guys. So up top, my rafters that I just store, and I got to be careful because that's bending a little bit. I got to take some of that weight off of that and kind of distribute it off to the sides. But the stuff that's up there is really not that heavy. Like I got packing peanuts and bubble wrap. I got empty cases up there, so I got to kind of distribute it a little better. And then I added the foam back up here and over there yesterday with spray foam, and on the side walls over there. But I also have the bay up here. I keep all my boxes and everything. And then what was the other thing? There was something else I wanted to show you. Yeah, this is all the eBay stuff right here. That's gonna actually not eBay stuff. It's stuff I bought for eBay, but it's probably not gonna sell. So all this stuff is getting donated to the thrift stores. Just panning around the room a little bit for you. Oh, and then also, if you never watched the other series, this is all fabric. The fabric up here is very breathable. It's kind of like if you ever worked in a kitchen, like in a restaurant, those white aprons they give you, that very fine material. That's basically what that is. And I actually have, if you can see up there, underneath those boxes is more of it. I bought like 100 feet of it. But that, there's all insulation underneath that. And then I put that up because what I wanted to happen was, and this goes for the walls too, which I'll show you. I wanted any sound in here to actually be able to penetrate that linen and then just kind of die into the, it's not really soundproof. It's I think it was I want to say I only used R15. I don't remember, it's been so long. It was like not last October, the October before. So it's been about almost a little over a year now. And then the walls, if I go over here, if you haven't seen it before, the walls are all pegboard. So the idea behind that, rather than putting up the regular drywall, I did the pegboard just for the same reasoning of the linen up top. Is I wanted, and my friend Barry, who owns a studio, really nice studio in his house, he suggested using the pegboards. This way the sound could kind of go into the holes and then just kind of die into, into the insulation that's back there. And it, for what this is, it's very, very, there is no echo or anything in this I call it a studio, in this garage. So when the sound hits that, like if that was just drywall, the sound, I'd have to have those foam panels all over the place. This saved me a lot of money because the sound's going right through and kind of dying into that. If that makes any sense. All right, let me see what we got here. Let me switch over. All right, Darren said that's what he saw. All right, cool. Yeah, those were they had, like I said, they got those on Amazon. They're cool little coat hangers over there. Do I have heat? Yes. All right, let me show you that. the heat is kind of hidden right now. So we're going to walk over. You can see one down here. I got a baseboard. It's all electric baseboard. I got one there. There's one behind the desk. And there is one. So on 3 of the walls, there's one back here. And there's my thermostat. Thermostat says 59, but it's actually feels warmer than 59 in here. Once it gets cool in here, it stays cool. Once it gets warm in here, it stays warm. Yeah, so it's, I think I want to say they're 3-foot sections. 1, 2, 3. My friend Chris Longo, who played drums on my CD, he did all the electrical work in here. He did a great job with it. I'm going to switch this camera again. There we go. Yeah, so I rarely ever turn that heat, past like 62 when it gets really cold because it stays warm in here. Warm enough to have guitars and computers out here. Pap's saying it's pretty dead. Yeah, like I can't really clap because of this stupid thing, but like there is no kind of a bathroom reverb sound or anything like that. Like before I did all this, if you went like this in here, you could kind of hear it. But now, once I put up these, put all the installation, and here's another story. If you haven't seen that 7-part series, it's on this channel if you want to check it out, like from start to finish and how this whole studio came together. When I was doing the installation, I basically did the walls around me first. But when I went up and did the ceiling, I made a stupid mistake. So I did it all. I put all that insulation up there. And then pretty much 20 minutes, half hour after I finished doing that, and it took me like 6 hours to put it up, I realized that I forgot to put the rafter vents in. I had them sitting in one of these corners. There was nothing in here yet. It was still working. I had packages of rafter vents, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. 6 hours putting it up, about 2-3 hours taking it all down. And you know what happens with insulation when once it's up and you stop pulling it out, it starts falling apart. So I had to be really, really careful not to keep breaking. So I had to take all of it down, put the rafter vents up, staple it all in, and then put it all back. Another 6 hours putting it all back. Actually, probably longer than 6 hours because it wasn't like perfect anymore. Let that be a lesson when you're putting in insulation. Try not to forget, if you're using rafter vents, try not to forget to put that in. And I had a couple of people ask, well, what do the rafter vents do? Well, the rafter vents, they go from the tip, the very top, all the way down to where the wall meets the roof. And there's like vents. So any air, the easiest way to explain it is that there won't be any condensation building up in here, basically, because you're getting the right kind of airflow going in and coming out. Because in the rafter vents, they were those, I got them at Home Depot. They were those pink, I think they were like 24-inch wide by 36 long, just almost like styrofoam. They were long and they were thin, and they had like so there was 2 ends like this, and then it would come out like that. So it almost had like an opening through the whole thing. So you just kind of match those up all the way up and down, so then the air can everything can breathe in here. So if I didn't put those rafter vents in, I would probably be getting, when it's really humid outside, I'd probably be getting dripping going on. There's soffits. Hey, Quentin. 220. There's soffit vents on the outside. But as far as the electrical goes, I think, see, my house is like over 100 years old, so we're actually getting the electrical updated to 200 amps soon. because I think it's the panel. Everything's on the inside of the house. Even the meters on the inside of this house. That's how old it is. So we got to get that all moved outside and new breakers and all that stuff. New panel. There's actually 2 panels in there down in the basement. But I have a brand new panel, which something else I can show you. So let's take a walk. I'm going to turn the mic. Let's take a walk over to, well, actually, you can't really see the panel because this is there. But the panel, trust me, the panel is back here. The panel's right there. So this is all the heat. And we got lights, outlets, and the GF right there. And I'm dropping stuff. I think I just lost my GoPro camera. Well, my drummer friend he's not doing all the upgrades. I actually have a licensed guy that's going to be doing the hold on a second. I want to see if I can get this GoPro back on. Do I have a fire extinguisher? I'm pretty sure I do in here somewhere in one of the corners. But I also, up above, I have a carbon monoxide and a fire detector. And I also have it set up. So it's called my thermostat is called a MYSA, MYSA. And it was the only Wi-Fi thermostat I could find for electronic baseboards. And what that thing will do, so if that alarm goes off, that'll hear it and it'll send a signal to my phone to tell me that the fire or smoke alarm or the carbon monoxide detector is going off. So at least I can kind of, I don't know why this isn't working. Come on. Trying to get this GoPro back running. Let's see if this works now. I'm going to switch back to the GoPro. And it looks like it's still stuck. I think I have to actually get rid of that. You're seeing a frozen screen right there. I don't actually have the GoPro on. That was the last screen I had on. For some reason, it is not. There we go. All right. So now you're seeing a black screen right now. So I think hopefully if I can add this back in, otherwise we'll be done with the GoPro for today. Let's see if it shows up. There it is. Good. And make it high resolution, or as high as it's going to be. All right. Let me get back to the main. Battery. The only thing I don't like about this GoPro, well, I mean, it's great I use it for my eBay stuff mainly. I'm going to use it for the band if the band can ever play again. The only thing I don't like is in order to use it as a webcam, it has to be, you got to go through USB with it, but it doesn't charge. It doesn't charge. If I have the webcam feature off, it charges the battery. So right now the battery is at 22%. What's my main camera? So this one right here that I'm looking at is a Logitech, whatever you want to call it, C920. This one over here is a C920. That one over there is just a generic. I got off Amazon during the pandemic when all these cameras were pretty much out of stock. I ended up finding that one for like $30. Works fine. Let me see, Darren. Why am I selling the Charvel? I'm selling the Charvel. It's a great guitar, but after Eddie passed away, um, I hadn't really played much guitar for like 3 or 4 months. After I was doing those live streams, and that's right around the time towards the end of that is when the eBay stuff I started, and then it really took off. So I stopped playing guitar. I put everything away, and I really didn't miss it. Going into October, I did not miss playing guitar at all. I just didn't feel like it. And then Eddie passed away, and it kind of kicked me in the ass a little bit. Because I've said this before. He's the reason why I play guitar. It's the only reason why I play guitar. There was nobody else. He's the reason why I'm in this studio. I am where I am right now. The reason my life has gone on this path because of him, and I'm 100% positive of that. No, I don't have my kids or whatever without discovering Van Halen or Eddie. So when he passed away, I'm like, all these years, I have the Music Man. I got that in '91, the black one back there. That was my first real guitar. Hold on, let me fix this. And all these years, I've wanted a striped guitar. I bought the when they first came out. I'm pretty sure I don't know if it was the black and yellow or the Woman and Children First guitar. I can't remember which, but I bought the lower end model, and I ended up sending it back because it really wasn't what I was looking for. But I've always loved the red, black, and white guitar, whether it was the 5150 or it was the Frankie. So when he passed away, I said, you know what? Screw everything. I want to buy one. So I pre-ordered one from Musician's Friend, back-ordered until at least March. But in order to help pay for that, when the time comes, I got to sell that guitar. I just don't see myself playing that guitar as much as the Frankenstein or one of my other guitars that are back there. My main guitar right there, and that's one of my backups. And I have the Sambora. Those are the three main guitars I use for the band. The Van Halen guitar is just going to be used here for fun. But I've always wanted one, and I figured, you know what, now's the time. And they had 48-month no interest. How can you pass that up? So Quentin wanted a Bumblebee. I think the Bumblebee is the one I had, and I sent it back. But it was only like the $700-800 one. The Frankenstein one I'm getting was $16.99. So, and I was on the fence about. I was on the fence about that one or the 5150, which is, I think it's $9.99, right around there. But every review I read and every YouTube review I saw was saying that spending the extra $500-600 goes a long way on those guitars. So I ended up with the ordering the Frankie. We'll see when it comes in. I can't really play anyway, so everything has happened. All the crap that's happened this year seems to have happened for a pretty good reason. Quentin got to play one of Ed's personal guitars when he went to PV school. That's awesome. I had a couple of PV Wolfgangs in the past. I loved them. Pap, will you ever have the band over for a live stream show? Probably not during the pandemic. I haven't seen those guys since February 29th, which was our last show. And the real reason, other than nobody can really interact with other human beings now, even though you can go into a Walmart with 300 other people, but you can't see your own family. It makes no sense. But, yeah, those guys live like 90 minutes away from me. We're all So three of our singer, bass player, and drummer are all within, 15 minutes of each other up in Western Massachusetts. Our other guitar player is further west in Massachusetts, but he's closer, close enough to get over there. That's why when we rehearse, I have to drive all the way up there. And our keyboard player is in Hartford, Connecticut, so he's not too far, but it's probably like a 45-minute drive for him. Zoom shows don't work. Trust me, I have tried and tried and tried. Anytime you see what they say is a live Zoom show, it's not live. Everybody recorded their own parts, and unfortunately, the guys in my band don't have the setups or the know-withal to do what they need to do with that. So it's just basically going to come down to hoping this goes back to normal, because I've said this before, I don't want to play until everything's good. It just doesn't make sense to. Number one, with everybody, the chance of getting someone in your audience getting somebody else sick or getting sick, it's just not worth it. The venues, can only let 20%, 25% people in, 50%, which means they're not making as much, which means the band doesn't get paid as much. We work too hard to get to a certain level as far as pay, and we're not going to come down. We're going to wait it out. And if it never goes back, then that's it. We'll have to reconvene and figure out what we want to do. But to me, it's just not worth it. But trust me, I've tried. My friend Chris, the drummer, and he's in Rhode Island here, but we've tried doing the Zoom thing. We've done the Jam Kazam, Zoom, Google Hangout, FaceTime. We've tried everything you can imagine. The technology is not there yet in order to play instruments and have the other person hear it the way they need to. So we tried, I would play some riffs on guitar. He'd try to play the drums to it, but what he was hearing was always like a second or two because of latency. That's the problem. Now, apparently, Jam Kazam, within the last few months, really upgraded their software. So I do have to check that out again. But the other guys in my band aren't going to be able to know how to set that up. I'm not going up there to do it. I don't want to go around anybody right now. I'm actually staying out of. Normally, I'd be at a thrift store or going to thrift stores all day. I'm buying stuff for eBay. But the last 2 weeks, all I've gone to is like the grocery store, get gas, and my parents to do my orders. Because I'm going to take a COVID test Wednesday morning, because you got to have one for surgery, and I don't want anything to screw up having the surgery. I don't want to have to postpone it, because I just want to get it over with so I can get back to feeling right and being able to play a little bit. I can play, but after a few minutes I gotta kind of stop, and because it's just a weird. I think I said this before. It's a weird feeling. It's not anything that's like the pain is excruciating, but it's just enough that it's there. No, it's not carpal tunnel. I have a torn ligament, and the surgical center called me before I got back onto the stream here to give me my time and everything for next Tuesday. But I forgot. They told me what the surgery was. It's a torn ligament, not carpal tunnel. It was 3 words. I'm not a doctor, so I was trying to write stuff down, like, you have to go in this way and get dropped off. Nobody can come in with you, and who's picking you up? Give us their number. And so I was kind of just doing all that as I was, writing this down. And the woman mentioned, she's like, what kind of surgery you're having? I'm like, yeah, wrist surgery. She goes, no, do you know exactly what he's repairing? And I said, well, I have a torn ligament. She goes, yeah, but it's this. And she said what it was, and I cannot remember what the hell it was. What if I, hold on a second. I'm looking up wrist ligaments right now. Let me see if I can bring up an image that might say. It might be the ulnar collateral ligament. That's 3 words. I'm just looking at some more diagrams here. Yeah, I think it might be the ulnar because, or maybe it's. Oh wait a minute. Hold on, the palmar radiocarpal ligament. I don't know. I don't remember what the hell it was, but it's one of those. It's pretty much it's that one that's right here that's torn, and it's as far as I know, it's not torn. I mean, it could be torn all the way through by now because it's been a few weeks and I've been doing stuff. But it when I went and got the MRI, it wasn't all the way through, and the doctor at first wanted to put me in the splint like they did, and say he said, well, you can put it in a splint for 3 weeks and have it come back. It'll probably feel a lot better. And I told him, I said, listen, I said, first of all, I play guitar, musician, and play some piano. I don't want to wear a splint for 3 weeks, come back, and it feels great, feels a lot better, and then 2 months down the road, it starts hurting the same. I said, is there a way to fix this? And he goes, well, we can do a arthroscopic repair. And I said, well, let's just do that. So that's what we decided on. Was it an injury or just wear and tear? As far as it's probably a little of both. So we had a tree fall. If you've seen some of my other videos, I had a tree fall. I almost hit the house. And back in early November, that's when this all started. I was chainsawing, the tree into sections, and then I was splitting the logs, with an axe. And I think that's when it happened, because it wasn't one of those instant pain things. It was just later that day. I'm like, something's not right with this wrist. And I thought I just jammed it or sprained it. So I went like a week and a half. I said, I'll just get better in a couple of days. Take some Advil or something. But after a week and a half, I'm like, you know what? This is not getting any better. It feels exactly the same. So I went to my regular doctor. He thought I sprained it, put me on some meloxicam or something like that. And he goes, let's just go do an x-ray just for the hell of it. So he sends me for an x-ray, which was downstairs. This was in the morning. Later that day, they call and they say, well, it looks like you have a fracture, but we can't really tell from the x-ray, so we're going to send you for an MRI. So I go for the MRI a few days later, and then a few days after that, I go through a whole weekend wondering what happened. Then I call them, and they're like, oh, so you don't have a fracture, but it looks like you have a torn ligament. So and then you got to go to a hand specialist now. So that's what that ended up being. Still looking at these wrist photos here. Getting dry in here. I think it might be the radial collateral ligament, because that looks like the ligament that's right on the end here. Oh, wait a minute. Or is that backwards? I'm trying to find what's this one? Can't tell which, on these pictures, I can't tell which way the hand is going, because it's like, and this one is tiny, so I can't really see it. None of these. We still got a bunch of people on. Cool. Hopefully this is not boring here today. How long have I been on right now? Let me see. $49 minutes. Hey, how's the video stream? Like, is it smooth or is it getting choppy? Because this thing is telling me that the bit rate is off, but from what I can see, I'm watching it on YouTube also, but I also have the other screen going here to see the live version of it. All is good. All right, cool. YouTube, it's fine. That's all that matters. I'm looking at YouTube, the stats and everything, and it's saying, warning, the stream's current bit rate is lower than the recommended bit rate. We recommend that you use a stream bit rate of 4,500. I used to have, that reminds me, I used to have that set correctly when I was using OBS, but since I'm using Streamlabs OBS, I didn't set that right. So that's something I got to remember for the next one. Gonna lose the battery on the at 7% on the GoPro. So if there's anything else you guys want to see in the studio where I have to walk around, let me know now before this thing dies. But I'm also wondering, it's what sucks is I got that Apple Cinema display to use with here, and I don't have the look at all these adapters I have, Apple adapters, and I don't have one that does DVI. I'm trying to figure out if there's a way I could run this GoPro as a webcam but also charge it at the same time. I don't think you can. Oh, I got a message here. What is this? Oh, that's nothing. All right, yeah, so let me know, guys and girls, whoever's on, if there's anything else you want to see in the back here, back there, over there. I'm trying to think if there's anything that I did not show you in here. Well, we could do a light test if you want, like I was doing yesterday, and see how. Because I did it last night. It was dark out. So I'm thinking maybe try one now. Let me put this light on. It's going to get bright. Turn on the LEDs. All right, we got blue LEDs back on the back there. You can't really tell, but turn this other one on. Oh yeah, the guitar wall. Well, I just turned on another light too, but the reason for that is I added more lights up top just because it wasn't bright. When I'm working in here, it wasn't bright enough. It wasn't meant for doing these streams. And let me shut the big lights off, and we'll just have a couple of lights on. I just have to turn on one more light over here if I can get to it. Here it is. How's that? And then if we go to this camera here, looks pretty good. You can't really see the piano, and the GoPro is right here. It's gonna die soon. Go back to the main camera. I think that's still a little bright there. Let's turn that down. How's that? I thought I'd never see the day when I'd have a ring light. I don't know if I brought it into the picture too much here. Let me see. Now, if I switch cameras, you're going to see the ring light probably. Oh, no, you can't see it. Push it all the way back. So Darren likes that a little better. Who else is on here still? We got Pap, we got Quentin. Anybody else? I want to make sure that this camera's in the middle too. All right, Pap likes it too. So yeah, if I go back to doing any kind of I don't know, gear demos or live music streams, or if I start the podcast back up, this is kind of the look that I'll have. But when I'm actually working in here, I got to have all those big lights on. I kind of like having all the lights on. And I think I said this yesterday, that because of these lights shining in my face right now, if I go walking around in here, I can't see anything because it's so dark. I'm trying to see if I can still hear. All right, I can still hear my voice. What about in this monitor? I'm getting feedback. All right, I'm going to mute that monitor so it doesn't feed back. Go to the other far camera. Which one? So this is the main one, which is right here. This is the one that's on the other monitor here. And then that's the piano one. I got to get a light on the piano. Or I could just go like this. Oops, I don't want to break this light either. I could turn this around like that. And then you can see my left is this one. That's this one. Which is sitting on top of the TV. But yeah, so if I need light on the piano, I can just turn this one around. I can turn it back. And I'm lit up again. When I was doing those live music streams, I had like 3 other LED lights. I had one of the bars on the floor. I sold it all. And I could have sworn I had another light like that back here. Like, it's got to be packed away somewhere. I just don't know where it is. I was looking for it earlier. I was looking for it last night, and I was looking for it earlier today. I think I would have to take down pretty much everything out of those Rafters to find it, because I still have the stand behind the desk here. The GoPro's still going. So basically this is what I'm seeing now. That's my view. Got the ring light. This is the live version of what's happening right now. That right there is the GoPro preview. Then obviously this is YouTube, and you guys are 15 seconds behind what I'm seeing over here. My desk is kind of clean. I had a lot more junk on it, but glad I was able to try this today with this GoPro. It I had the GoPro Hero 8 before this. I'm gonna shut the GoPro off because I think it's just about dead. I gotta remember to charge the batteries because I will. Although it'll charge right now that it's off webcam, it'll charge the batteries for me. I need it for tomorrow morning for the eBay stuff. But yeah, so I had the Hero 8 Black, and it might have been the worst GoPro version that they put out, because there was so many things that they left out. Like they even older models had like the basics in it. Like they came up with that media mod that it was like you put the whole camera inside this case to add an extra external microphone, and you can get another display to see if you're gonna film yourself. You can see yourself. They fixed all that with this, so now you can actually. So if you're filming yourself, you can see yourself on the little screen on front. Plus, it's on the back. And the 8, you needed all this extra nonsense in order to use it as a web camera. Where this, you just plug in the USB. I just had to download one little piece of software from GoPro, and it works good. The only problem is, like I said, you can't charge. Even at 100% battery, you're probably doing a webcam. You're probably going to get an hour out of it, maybe a little bit more, or a little bit less. So there's got to be a way to. I don't think there is. I was going to say there's got to be a way for it to charge while it's running as a web camera, but everything I read says you can't do that. The only other thing I need for this studio, besides knowing how to use everything, is now before the pandemic, I pre-ordered the Marshall refrigerator, the little one, and they were back ordered, so I ended up canceling. The pandemic hit, and I canceled them. Like, I'm not gonna spend money on that. So just like a month ago, I went to order it again, and they didn't have it anymore. So I'd like to get the little Marshall fridge in here, just to keep my waters and drinks and stuff like that in here, but not a big deal. I do plan on, once I'm able to play it again, is, like I said, ordering that Syn 50 Synergy head. This way I can, for bigger shows, I can bring the head with me, and then for the smaller shows, like fly dates, I can just bring the tabletop, the Syn 1. Think Media. I think I've seen that, Pep. I think I have seen Think Media. I think I've actually gotten some good stuff off them. 'Cause that sounds very familiar when I started the whole podcasting thing. I'm kind of, maybe that's something I can do. So since I have to shut my eBay store down probably for about a month, because I won't be able to. A lot of it is, moving, getting orders off the shelves and boxing them up and packaging and taping and cutting. I'm not really going to be able to do that probably for a few weeks, but I'm wondering if I should get the podcast, the actual podcast. This, I don't consider this, to me, this isn't a podcast right now. This is just a live stream. A podcast is, if you probably have seen or heard some of the Rocker Dad podcasts that I used to do when I had guests on. So I'm contemplating maybe doing some of that while I'm recovering from this. I got the setup here. I got the studio looking okay again. This actually what's funny about this, the way these lights look now, if you've seen Wolfgang Van Halen doing all his interviews, after Eddie died, and for his music, he's in his home studio, and it's kind of, I'm looking at this now, and I'm like, where have I seen this before? This kind of look. He's got some kind of thing going on like this, which is cool. I actually tried to get in touch with him or somebody in his camp. I went through Twitter. I went through his website, Facebook, just to see if I can get him as a guest. And so far, I haven't hit the right person. I could probably line up a few people that I've had on before just to get it going again. But or keep it simple and just talk. I was going to do a tribute band episode with my friend Chris, who plays drums for Dirty Deeds around here, and just kind of talk about what it's like being in a tribute band, and if someone's thinking of joining one or starting one, what you can expect, and do's and don'ts, and all that stuff. That's actually a good idea. I'm gonna text Chris right now. And we'd be able to do it through video as well. Oh yeah, Richie Castellano. All right, yeah. So you've seen him. Yeah, Richie's awesome. I'm sure he'd do it again. I mean, I'd just talk Star Wars with him if I had to. But yeah, a great guy too. Met him at NAMM. He'd do it. He'd do it in a heartbeat. And the one cool thing about Richie, being the technical wizard that he is and the audio wizard that he is, he's the only guest I had that actually emailed me his audio from his end. So I got like the really clear signal instead of him coming through. I don't know if we were using Zoom. I think we were using FaceTime. Excuse me. But yeah, he sent me a copy of his audio, so it'd be really good. So yeah, he's someone I'd definitely ask again. I could probably get one or two of the Line 6 guys on. Yeah, I always say Richie Castellano is an American institution as far as like our little group of musician friends and people. He's just always looking to help, and he just knows so much and been through so much, and I don't have anything bad to say about that guy. He's helped me a lot. My friend Chris got back to me. He's not feeling good right now. I said, well, I don't want to do it now. But yeah, so he'd be up for it. He's actually not feeling good right now. He's not feeling good and he's working. He said he was on here watching in between work calls. I said, you're not feeling good, don't work. So yeah, that's good. I'll do an episode talking about tribute band stuff. Can't believe it's already 4:12. Really? Jeez, time flies. I can hang around for a little while longer. I got everything done that I needed to get done today. I'm just hoping that adapter for that monitor comes. It says it's going to be here Wednesday, but with the way shipping's going right now with everything, who knows? So I want to get this clunky TV off here. I mean, it's good enough. It works well. Any other guests or any other, I don't know, subjects you guys have in mind for the podcast if I do restart it and get it going again? I can't even remember who I even besides Rich. I had Joe Hoekstra. Probably can get Elliot Lewis from Hall and Oates again. I had the guys from Lifehouse on. I don't know if I can get them again. I came close to getting Kiefer Sutherland, which I really wanted to talk to him about Jack Bauer. I didn't really want to talk to him about his music, but I would have. Who else did I have on? Michael Britt, talking Kemper. He's a great guy too. He's helped me a ton. Why can't I remember? I'm gonna pull up my podcast and see all episodes. All right, so I had Terry Dunn from Banshee, Mark Fauner from Grand Funk Railroad, Elliot Lewis. Oh, Michael Devin. I can probably get him again from Whitesnake. Had Dennis Dunaway from Alice Cooper. Vito Bratta is in hiding. I don't think he's ever going to come out and talk to anybody. I had Michael Wagner from his studio. Pete Evick from Brett Michaels. Oh, Brittany Denaro, Vixen, Brit Lightning. Probably can get her back on. Mark Martel, who's unbelievable. He might be a little out of reach now, but I still keep in touch with him every now and then. Mark Kendall from Great White. I'm just looking at my list. Mark Scott from Trickster. Lorenza Ponce from who played violin for Bon Jovi. Sheryl Crow had her. Frank from Line 6. Richie. Brian Reisman, who wrote a Bon Jovi book. Joe Hoekstra. Mark Day from Fractal Audio. I think Mark might have been my first guest. That was back in 2017 was most of those. That's how long it's been. And then I did 2 episodes in 18, and then I did 1 episode back in January of this year, 2020. An 11-minute episode. I'm just checking my emails here. Vito Bratta. Yeah, I wish. Eddie Trunk can't even get him on. Yeah, I heard Vito just kind of quit music altogether and just didn't want to do it. He just had no desire. It's kind of the way I was feeling before October. I just had no desire to play any guitar at all. Wasn't missing it. And I still, I kind of miss it, but I don't miss it as much as I thought I would. I think Vito. Now, yeah, you don't know who to believe, but I think he had some kind of medical issues with his. I don't know if it was with his fingers or his wrists or his arms or some other kind of medical issue going on, which is why he stopped. And I think he just got sick of the whole scene anyway. That's what I heard. So I don't know. I opened a show for Mike Tramp once. It was Mike Tramp and a bunch of other guys without Vito, and it just was not. It was not good. They played Wait, and the song was like unrecognizable. You could tell it was Wait, but when the solo came up, I don't know what happened at that point. But yeah, I'm thinking about about the podcast again. We'll see. Who knows? A lot of things can change. So starting on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve, I got to stop taking vitamins, and I can't take any Advil, anything because of the surgery. Not that I take that Advil, never. Michelangelo Pateo, not really a fan of him. I'm sure I could get him on, but I'd have to like really do some research on him. I just never got into his music. I'm not into. I'm a guitar player, but I'm not into that type of player. Never got into like Yngwie. Never got into. Oh, I'm just checking messages here. Oh, it's about a Richie Sambora thing I posted today. I'm not into. Shredding. When I was first starting, I started playing guitar when I was 17, 18. I got a late start because I was playing drums before then. And then I discovered Van Halen. You know that story. And back then, that's all I wanted to do. I wanted to play fast, fast, fast. And I could play pretty fast back then. Then I had an accident with one of my fingers. And it never, this finger here never recovered correctly. I think I severed tendon or something. So that finger doesn't move like the others do. And after that, I stopped wanting to play fast and realized that there really is no point to it. I mean, the guys that do it are unbelievable, and you know, there's stuff out there. There's no way I could, even if I practiced every day for 10 years, I couldn't do that. But I guess that's when I started getting into the melodic side of rock, and I will take a 10-note solo that just holds notes over, a 2-minute solo that has 8,000 notes. I don't know why. Yeah. You know what I'm saying. I just, it's boring to me. Like you said, it's boring. Like I couldn't go to, like when they had those G3 shows, it'd be Joe Satriani and he'd had Steve Vai and whoever, Zach Wilde is one time, Nuno. I couldn't sit through a whole night of that. I just can't, because I get bored. I'm more into melody, and that's why I like Van Halen with Sammy a lot better than Dave, and I love the Dave stuff. It's just that the songs with Sammy were more songs, and the songs with Dave were kind of jams with him scatting over the top of it. And Eddie was on fire playing all this unbelievable stuff, but when Sammy got in the band, they really started to write songs, like the structure, and produce them, and work on melodies and different harmonies. I will take a nice harmony melody any day of the week over like a heavy song that just screams. Any day of the week. Just take the Beatles. I'll take the Beatles over anything, pretty much. Their 3 chords and them just singing is, to me, that's what music is. And if it's not uplifting, I don't listen to it, which is the main reason I really don't listen to radio these days, because everything sounds the same, and everything is either too overly produced, too loud, or I don't know. There's no like soul or heart behind anything anymore. It's just put it out. Just keep, wasting everybody's time, and just put out the same crap over and over. So I basically, all I listen to now is I'll listen to podcasts, and I'll listen to music that I have on my phone or whatever. But yeah, so when Sammy got in the band, Eddie, he was, most of the time he was writing on piano anyway, but he was allowed to explore that even further. And like two of my all-time favorite bands, actually I should say three of my, probably, it might even be my top 5 Van Halen songs are pretty much keyboard songs. So there's Dreams, There's Right Now, and there's When It's Love. When It's Love is the song that really, really, really just took me. Um, when I first got OUA, like I had 5150 and I loved that, and that's what really got me going. That's when I first discovered Van Halen. But when OU812 came out, and I can still remember, I was at my grandparents' house and I just got the cassette. I had a Walkman, and I was just they had this cot like kind of laid out in one of the rooms. I don't know if anybody was sleeping over or whatever. And I just remember just laying on that cot and putting headphones on. The first song, what was the first song on? Was it Mine on Mine on OU812? I don't remember, but that was different to begin with. But then as soon as I heard that, let me see, I can actually probably play it for you that I recorded if I can find it, and you should be able to hear it. Let's see, Logic, Van Halen. All right, so I do have it. I don't know if this is gonna work or not. Let me see. I might have to. I'm gonna mute this mic. When I first heard, and this is keyboards. Sorry. When I first heard the sound, it wasn't even a guitar that made me go, whoa. It was the sound of this keyboard, this patch, this layered thing of When It's Love that just did it for me. And the melody to it. I'm trying to see if I can play this. Hold on. Is this even work? Yeah, that's where. Why is that working? Let's see if I can play this. That didn't work. I'm not sure why. Unless you could hear that, but it didn't look like it was going through on my end. I'm not sure why. It was working the other day, but it's not working now. And why am I hearing myself again? Oh, all right. Anyway, that keyboard sound. Yeah, Dave's been awful for a long time. He tries, but he's too goofy to me. And yeah, Sammy's 73 years old. He still sings like he used to. Even they down tune a lot now, but he's 72 or 73. But just that keyboard sound from When It's Love, when that first kicks in, you got the piano layered with the strings, and then it has that click every time he would hit the main note, the F sharp to the G to the A. You hear that almost like a kind of a snap. It sounds like it really sounded like a cigarette lighter. So when I built that patch for the keyboard and recorded it, it took me like 2 weeks to build that patch, and then I lost the damn thing. I don't have it anymore. But I actually found a sound effect of, I think it was a cigarette lighter. When you click a cigarette lighter, and I put that into the sound, and it just made the whole thing. Stuff like that. You didn't have in the Dave years. You didn't want Eddie playing keyboards, even though he wrote most of them. And a lot of people don't know that in the Cradle of Rock is a piano going through. It's a Wurlitzer piano going through a Marshall stack. The Circle is awesome. Yes, it is. I love the Circle. I wish they never come around this area. They came one time and I just didn't go. But what really sucks is we're not going to get that kitchen sink tour. That if Eddie had, was still alive and was getting better, they were going to do it. Everybody, even Gary Sharon, was going to be in on it. which is fine because I like him too. I'm just checking the timing here. We're on almost an hour and a half. Jeez. Why isn't that? I want to see why that's not playing. How many Van Halen singers were there? Are you talking on record or are you talking all time? Because before they had Dave, Eddie was singing at first. Then they got Michael Anthony. And then Dave was in a band called Red Ball Jets. And he had a PA. Maybe Michael had the PA. But they got Dave because he had the PA, and they could practice at his father's a brain surgeon. They could practice at that house. Well, yeah, it says you say in total, but are you talking officially or are you talking not on the albums? Because so they had Dave, and then when Dave left or he got fired, whatever happened, before they got Sammy, Eddie contacted Daryl Hall. He contacted Patti Smythe. He contacted Steve Perry. He contacted, who's the other one? There's another one, but then you heard the whole story with the Claudio, their car mechanic, said, why don't you call Sammy? Sammy, here's his number, and they called him, and that was that. But then when Sammy left the first time, Dave came back, really wasn't in the band. They went on the MTV Awards, and they put out a couple of songs on the greatest hits or the best of or whatever. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was best of, Me Wise Magic and Can't Get the Stuff No More. And then, but he wasn't back in the band. He thought he was. He made a fool of himself. Well, Mitch wasn't actually in the band. They had him out to 5150, and I've heard the songs with him, which are, and I was getting to him. So Dave wasn't back in the band yet. They got Gary, recorded with Gary, and right around that time, too, they had tried Mitch Malloy. And it just didn't, for whatever reason, I think one of the problems was he looked too much like Sammy, had that long curly hair, and they were so fed up with Sammy at that point that they didn't want him. And then, they did the album with Gary, which I think was a great album. And then they went back, few years off, and they went back to Sammy, I think 2004. That's when Eddie was like at his all-time low, rotted teeth and just drinking wine all the time and wearing hobo clothes. And in 2005-06, they got Wolfgang in the band, and he's the one that actually called Dave in the band for 2007, and they did the 2015 tour, and then that was it. So yeah, Mitch Malloy wasn't really officially in the band. That's why I was asking officially or not officially, because, and they even had there's another female singer they had down to 5150. What is her name? She was out in the 90s too. Damn, why can't I think of her name? Sass Jordan. They actually had Sass Jordan down. They wanted her to sing on some stuff, and I heard her in an interview saying that she hung out with them for like 4 months, like on and off, going down to the studio, but she goes, we never actually recorded a song. They never recorded anything. She would just sit there and they would play, and they would talk, and they would badmouth, whoever, Dave and Sammy at that time. They were just kind of pissed off at everybody. And she's like, she got to be really close to them, but she never actually got to sing with them. So, yeah, my Van Halen history is usually pretty good. I'm pretty sure in my attic I still have VHS tapes of every time I would see them come on TV. I'd have a tape in the VCR, and I'd just hit record when I knew they were coming on. And then right around when Sammy, Live Without a Net, right around that time, MTV had that Van Halen Unleashed, and they even went live to one of their shows, and I think I have that on a tape somewhere. It wasn't the Live Without a Net footage. It was an MTV concert type thing. Who is on here besides Pap, who's doing all me, and Pap, who's doing all the. Because there's too many people watching not to say anything. I need to figure out why you couldn't hear. Usually, to hear the desktop audio. Or what if I play? Hold on a second. I'm just doing a little bit of a test here. I want to play. Let's see if I can play this. See, it's coming through my monitors, but it's not. It's not coming through. Unless it is. Wait a minute. Hold on. Are you hearing? Oh, you're probably. It's probably picking up through the mic though. It's not really actually playing through the system. Darren's still here. All right, cool. Yeah, I'm not sure why. You should be able to hear the desktop audio through this, but for some reason that's not working now. Even though it was working the other day. I'll figure it out, but not right now. So the music is playing right now, but it's not coming through. You guys hearing any music right now? You shouldn't be. If you do, you're hearing it probably picking up through this mic. No. Yeah, I didn't think you were because the meters are not moving. And I have music. Now, if I did this. You're probably hearing that, but not in the way you're intended to hear it. You're hearing it coming through the mic out of the monitors up here. So why is desktop audio not going through now? Is it because that's off? Let me try this now. Hold on. Nope. It's not that. That's interesting. I wonder. Preferences. Audio. I gotta look around this stupid light. Alright, so I disabled that. Where the hell is it now? I show you audio capture. Alright, let me try it again. It's definitely playing, but it's not coming through. Preferences. I'm going into. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second here. I want to make sure you can still hear me. Can you still hear me? I want to make sure you can. Yeah, you can hear me. All right, let me try this now. See if this did anything. Nope. Next thing to check would be this. All right, can you hear me? Hear me now? What's going on? Why can't I see? You guys still getting me? Because my YouTube is just not moving right now. So I'm still live. You guys can hear me and everything. Because my let me completely get out of this. And yeah, even on Stream Health says it's good, but I can't. That's strange. For some reason, it won't play for me. Like I can't watch my video. You guys there? Yeah, I'm on YouTube too, and it's just spinning like it's not doing anything. It's stuck. But OBS is showing that it's still running. As long as you guys can see and hear me. Let me try I'm trying to figure out why. I can't get anything to play right now. Weird. That's really strange. Yeah, my YouTube is pretty much doing nothing. It looks like I lost a couple of people too, so I'm not even sure if this is still working. Testing, testing, testing. Meters are good. Huh. This is showing. YouTube is telling me I'm not on right now. I can't see any. Never mind my video. I can't get to anything on. That's weird. So Pat and Darren can still see and hear me, but nothing is working for me on YouTube. Yeah, it's just spinning. So I'm gonna try to. I'm going to a different video on YouTube and seeing if I have the same problem. Yeah, I can't load anything right now. Try restarting your device. Yeah, I don't want to do that. But the other question is why can't I play? I can't play any audio. Let me see if that does anything. That's messed up. So I can't get any YouTube videos to play, and I can't play any music on my computer right now. But I can hear myself coming through the speakers with a mic. Audio MIDI setup. Let's see what this is doing. I don't know, guys. I'm having an issue here. This is telling me that I'm not on right now, but you guys are still seeing me. Yeah, I got nothing here. So it might be telling me to maybe wrap this up. But why can't I get any... What if I double click this and open iTunes? Even iTunes won't play anything. There's some funny business going on. I think you guys are gone too. All right. Whether or not you're here, I'm going to end this now. Thank you guys as always. And maybe we'll do it again tomorrow. Try some more stuff. I just don't know why this is not working like this. But everybody have a good night. I'm going to end the stream here. And we'll see you soon.